Hey Luke. So, yeah, honesty is really important. And if there were less fake people in the world, then we would all be a lot better off and we would have a much higher quality of life. But the question is, who are the fake people? Is it always, a they? Like, are you referring to those fake people? Or is fake personhood, the quality of being a fake person something that anybody can just assume on certain occasions and then take off like it were a belief in some way, because nobody really is fake on purpose. People find themselves falling into situations where they are, in one way or another, forced to be fake to protect some insecurity that they have or some unconscious element of their psyche that they haven't really assimilated with yet, and that they're just not prepared to be honest about yet. You know, I don't think anybody is fake on purpose because I think it's clear. Most people realize that honesty always diffuses the tension in a situation almost unanimously. I mean, I can't think of a time in my own personal experience when telling the truth was worse than getting caught in a lie or even not getting caught in a lie. I get tense when I know I'm lying, um, and I usually don't pull it off very well. I usually don't. I'm not even able to do it because, small lies are easy, but lies that you're manipulating others. It's I can't usually do it. Even when it's those the kind of thing where you're in competition, and the other team is going to be lying against you, and if you don't do the same thing back, you're gonna lose. But even in those situations, I'm not a good businessman for those reasons. But so being honest is a good ideal. The question is, how do we get people there? It sort of takes a team effort, I think, which really, I guess, is what you're saying about the taboos. If everyone was open to a whole variety of experiences and ideas, and that's really what it means to have a conversation with somebody. I mean, if you're going to really have a discussion with somebody, it has to be an open discussion where it's not framed somehow from the beginning, where there are certain areas that you just can't go because of some dogmatic um, belief that says that that's off limits. Uh, because it's the 21st century. It's 2007, and all of reality is on the table, and it's and we've had plenty of time to be in denial about reality and what it means to be human, and maybe it's about time we come to terms with it, with every aspect of it, all the taboo aspects. Uh, I think we're starting to. The question is, are we starting to? I mean, is pornography a rolling back of the sexual taboos that Western culture had? Like in the 50s and stuff. I don't know if it is because pornography almost seems like it's more obsessive than um, being all Puritan and stuff or Protestant. I mean, being uptight about sexuality and being totally perverse about it are almost, um, you know, they're mirror images, but they seem like very closely related extremes that express similar attitudes, and they must if our own society has sort of, within a span of 50 years or so, totally switched our perspective of sex. Now it's everywhere, and yet, are we better? Is it better now than it was? I don't know. So we have to really think about that, what it means to lift a taboo, um, because like it shows with sex. Sex is just as taboo now in some ways, even though it's everywhere as it was in the 50s. As far as analyzing people, the question is, whenever you analyze someone, what are you standing? Where does the analyzer stand? Where's his bedrock that allows him to um, characterize someone else? You have to have some steady foundation in order to do that, and it's difficult to find such a steady foundation anywhere in this world, in this reality that I've come across. I mean, to ever analyze something or to interpret something in an honest way, you sort of have to use a multiplicity of, or a variety of different perspectives and try to somehow patch them together in a loose way. It's very difficult to just take one framework and damn somebody from one specific framework, because how much is a framework worth? Like, what does an IQ test really tell about somebody? It says that they're good at the skills that that particular test was measuring, because there's all kinds of intelligences. I mean, there's musical intelligence, there's visual intelligence, emotional intelligence, kinesthetic intelligence. I mean, so you can't really measure the whole human being with any one test. Okay, so you said labels should be objectively defined, but subjectively applied. Okay, so for us to objectively define some labels, that means we have to, all of us as individuals, as participants in this collective definition, or this collective defining of a word, have to refrain from getting emotionally involved in, or allowing our particular beliefs to influence our understanding of the words, right? That would be an objective definition. So we're looking for the essence of whatever the word is, art, religion, concept, whatever the word is. We're looking for a definition that applies to everyone's understanding of the word, so that nobody feels left out, or nobody feels like their understanding is being contradicted somehow. That doesn't seem possible. But supposing for a moment that it is possible, we have an objective definition. We then must subjectively apply it, and that every application of this objective word will be an interpretational application, so it has no real objective value. So what is the value then of this definition that we just work so hard to objectively define? It objectively defines nothing except itself, right? What does it apply to in the world? Which assignment of this objective definition is a correct assignment if they're all subjective?